Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome back to another episode of our Kentum playthrough. This is episode 21. Now, I have some sad news for all of you. 21 and 22 are going to be our last episodes of the series. We're nearing the end game. We already have Cognitive Fluid Type D unlocked. You saw that. There's a recipe for it. And today we're going to focus on beating the two bosses that we have left. We already defeated Terradusa, but now we need to defeat the Trash Jungle boss, and we need to defeat the Hive boss. However, I wanted to show you really quickly. If you go to the Hive core, and you go upwards just a bit and use that hook shot to smash yourself into the spikes, I know. Right here, there are two silica veins you can easily farm, which is what I did with my drill extractors. And you need silica for the next phase of the game. I like this just because it's very easy to get to, it's very quick, and each one holds up to 30, so you can have 60 pretty darn quickly. This is important to keep in mind because you need those silica ingots to make chips which come to the motherboard. So here we go, boss fight time. This boss, you've seen him already, but I don't think you've seen his attacks. Basically, he lobs goobs of acid or poison at you. I think they're more acid than poison because I haven't been poisoned by one of those yet. And he lays these little explodey things that hurt you if you run into them. That's the first phase. It's really straightforward. It's actually kind of easy. You just have to go in, whack them, and go again, and repeat. It moves continuously from left to right. Once it reaches the end of the screen, it comes back to the middle, so you can just wait for him there. Not a problem at all. And then it drops those little creatures that poison you if they touch you. The good news about those creatures is that by this point, if you've gotten all the upgrades like I have, then one swing pretty much takes care of them and you don't have any problems. The other thing I'm going to mention is here's phase 2. So phase 2 starts releasing acid rain from the sky. So it starts raining acid rain. And acid blobs start dropping, which makes dodging a little bit more perilous. And then its attacks, the little blob spits it does, they split into two and then they go to either side of it. So those are the two new things you have to face. You see how it hits the ground, and it's not the small ones. You'll see some bigger ones that do that. You have to be really careful about that because you'll get they do chip damage, but it kind of adds up over time, and then you can't get close to the boss because it's spitting a bunch of stuff at you. So that's really the hardest part about this part. Now, here's the next part. Phase 3, it starts traveling a little bit faster, and then you start seeing more and more gobs come down. So if you're wondering which are the gobs that go to the side, it's the ones that come out of the side of its head. If the gob comes out of the side of its head, it's going to split into two when it lands. Or if a giant gob falls out of the sky, it's also going to split into two. You see right there. When the last phase occurs, then all the gobs that fall out of the sky start being giant gobs, and so now you're, good luck dodging. You can use your shield to block them. I unfortunately, how I did that, I blocked them and went back up into the sky. I unfortunately never got really good at blocking with the shield. I don't know, maybe I should have, but I felt like I could just be dodging stuff, and if I dodge stuff, usually good enough to be able to do what I need to do. But yeah, the shield can block these things and repel them, so you can do what you need to do. The other phase, if you go away from the creature, you can see that it stops raining, so it stops, those gobs stop coming down. So if you feel like you're going to die, or the gobs are just too much, you can always just go backwards. Or what I did is I just left the arena really quickly, healed up, and then came back in. And the boss's health doesn't reset, so you're able to do that. Now, at this point, I got kind of desperate because I couldn't find openings to get the boss down. So I just said, you know what, YOLO, it's almost dead. I know I can pretty much kill it with a couple of attacks. So I'm just going to go ham to the wall and try to kill it. And I did kill it, but the poison killed me after I did that. So the good news is the boss did die. So all I had to do was go back to the same area, pick up the core that the boss drops, and then theoretically I beat the boss although I died in the process. So what could I have done differently? I think I could have been more patient. When the boss's final stage comes and those globs really start raining from the sky, I think I could have been more patient. They form an arc when they hit the ground, so I can probably dash under that without many issues, just like you can dash under the cannonballs of these other creatures, right? So that could have been one. This was the first time I'd seen the boss, though. Any of the stages, I hadn't fought it before. So first try, I did end up beating it, which was nice. But I felt like knowing the patterns and what it did, I probably would have been able to do it better. Now, here's the other problem. The boss just, respawned. Which I thought was kind of funny. Just immediately after I defeated it, it's back again. But well, what can you do? It's not a big deal. So you saw I didn't see the core, so I said what happened? Well, you have to loot the body. It's not like the Pterodusas where the core goes flying. You actually have to loot the body to grab what you need to grab. But once I was done, I said, okay, you know what? I'm not going to defeat the boss again. What's the point? I'd rather just go back. I have my trophy. I did what I needed to do, and I'm good. Now, the next boss on our list is the Hive boss. But before I do that, I wanted to show you guys something. So my next step is technology, is energy. That's the next step. You see on the very top, that's my recipe that I have pending. And why do I need that? You need it 100% to unlock the next stage, which is cores. That's what you need. That unlocks cores. So it has to be done because it gives you the next step of the rest of the unlocks that you can have. I built 2 grinders. One grinder is working away at making the rice powder, and then the other grinder is working away at making the pulverized charcoal, which you need for the graphite ingot. So graphite ingots turn into graphite sheets. Now you need, so I just wanted to show you that. You need to have that process down. So, remember in the very first episode, I told you sticks are going to be your limiter. This is why. You need the charcoal for the ingots, and you need the charcoal for the pulverized charcoal. So lots of sticks, as many as you can. So here's a shortcut to the Hive boss. Theoretically, I could have gone to the left, but I felt that way was a little bit more perilous, because I just wanted quickly to reach the boss so I don't lose too much health in the process. Little did I know that, because I decided to go beat the boss, this was a great time for cave-ins to start occurring. So if you haven't faced cave-ins before, you should have seen them already on this channel, but cave-ins have giant rocks fall from the ceiling, and the closer you are to the ceiling, the less time you have to dodge. Even though you do get telegraphed pretty well, if you're dodging around and trying to dodge the little spiky things that hurt you, then yeah, this is what's gonna happen. I got stun locked there, and then I jumped, and I was trying to get out of the way, and I got bonked by a giant boulder on my way to the boss. So that was not a good thing. That was not a good thing at all. Those creatures there, that actually is something I want to talk about because they're important. It's those turtles with the orange shells on their back. So there's 2 types of those creatures with shells on their back. There's a green one with spikes, and then there's just one that's pure orange. The one with green, there it goes. Just love taking bonks on the head. The one with green shell with orange spikes, that one you can destroy the spikes on its back and it can't hurt you anymore. The ones that are orange completely shells, those you cannot break their shell, or maybe I haven't found a way to do so. I tried attacking them with my strong attacks and that wasn't working. So you have to wait till it hits the wall, turns upside down, and then you can smack it and kill it. So keep that in mind, because this boss releases both sets. First set is in the second stage. That's when it releases the green shells with the orange spikes, and then the last phase starts releasing the orange shells, creatures that are just really annoying to deal with. But we've seen this boss before, we've died to it before, so this fight goes a lot smoother than the other one. So if you need a reminder as to what this boss does, this boss spits out globs of, in the first phase, it's 2 things. First, those little spiky balls that hurt you if you run into them, they don't explode. Then it also releases those little pools of lava. Those do hurt you if you touch them, so you have to be careful. But you have to use those globs to paraglide up in order to be able to hit the boss easier. You don't really need to if you are able to get the boss to come down, but it's a tall task, I found, so it's easier if you just have the glider. And there I got hit by one of those lava shots. So yeah, that's the first phase. It's pretty straightforward. It should be pretty easy as long as you're just being patient and waiting for the little pools and then charging your strong attack, jumping up and then smacking it once you get in range. So phase 2 is when it starts releasing the creatures. And when it starts releasing the creatures, things get a little bit more... I don't know why I ran over that. I just guess I just wasn't paying attention. I think it was to test whether or not you could actually take damage. And so you notice I haven't made the next level of potions. If you have, then you probably have less of a tough time than I did. Or if you've cooked food to give you more power or more shields. Yeah, food gives you shields. I'll show you at the end of this episode. You might have an easier time than I did. Or actually, no, let me rephrase that. You'll probably be able to beat them faster than I did. I had a pretty easy time. Once I understood what I needed to do, it becomes straightforward. So we're in the second phase. You can see it's starting to release these guys right here. And you can actually hit them out of midair. I don't know why I jumped. But yeah, you smash their shell and then they're good. They're harmless. Literally harmless. So you can just leave them there. And for some reason, the boss doesn't tend to release as many of those creatures if there's more of them on the ground. I did test that, and that is true. So I thought that was pretty nice. I thought, okay, well, just leave them there and let them chill out, and while I smack the boss a couple of times. Theoretically, I could have probably been hitting the boss more often. There we go. That's the last stage. So the last stage, it enrages and starts releasing the globs, which form 3 pools of updraft. Now, good and bad. But to be honest, it's mostly good because it makes it a lot easier to be able to jump and grab the boss and smack them. I find the one I miss more often than not when it's just the one little pool. So you can't hit it. You can't hit it. You have to wait for it to hit the wall and then you can go ahead and smack it and kill it. So that's the tip for that one. But you can see the other creatures are still there and they're just hanging out. They're not doing anything. And this creature's almost dead. So yeah, try bonking it. Nothing. So you have to wait. The creature's almost dead, and pretty much one hit will just do it, and there, here comes. Bonk. Wait, 2 more hits? Man. I should have killed it. I don't know. Sometimes this game, I'm pretty sure I hit something, and then you go ahead and you go, I got this. No, you don't. Really? Oh, man. Sometimes, dude, I swear. So yeah, you can't really hurt it. You can hurt that area where it releases spikes. Boom! There we go. Excellent. So yeah, you can still get hurt and die, obviously, like I did with the other boss. But that's all 3 bosses down so far. I think we have 1 more boss to go, but I haven't run into it yet, and that's in the underground dark area. But yeah, 3 bosses down, 3 cores obtained, and they're used in the monolith. So here's my next energy research. I got it. It is done. That opens up a new part of the tree called energy, and I need 4 cognitive fluid type D. Cognitive fluid type D, you already saw what it requires. So that means I am going to have to go into the underground and try to find, first of all, mine the blood ore, which is fine. I already got to a couple of drills and it's no big deal. They're really easy to find and they're right in the entrance of the darkness. But the other thing I haven't found, there's supposed to be some plant down there that gives you the fruit to craft the next part of the tree. So I need to go find that. I definitely do. And so, yeah, that's basically it. Once I unlock that part, which is technology, you can see I'm almost at the end of everything. I'm going to unlock teleportation next just to see kind of what it does. Maybe I can do like a fast track back home or something. And that'll be the whole episode. I mean, maybe there's 1 more boss to defeat. I don't know. I wanted to show you cooking right before we end this episode. Cooking. I finally made a stove. 50 episodes later. I ended up removing the cooking pot, and I'm going to give you another tip. Don't do that. Why? Because the cooking stove doesn't have the recipes that the cooking pot does. Which, to me, seems kind of silly. all the recipes of the cooking pot should be in the cooking stove, but they're not. So you can't make the crying apple skewers and that kind of stuff. So you're better off keeping both somewhere so that you can craft things when you need them. But yeah, you can see all the buffs this particular type of food give you, and they give you quite a large amount of them. I went ahead and crafted a whole bunch of food. I haven't taken it yet, so I'm going to see what the shield is like. And probably in the next episode we're going to see that. And then, but yeah, I'm happy that I did that. I'm also happy that we're nearing the end of our series. I've been enjoying Kentum quite a bit once I got the ball rolling. I'm going to make one final episode there where we kind of just talk about the things that we learned about Kentum and the order of operations in terms of, what areas should you do first, what things you should unlock, what things you don't need to unlock, so you don't waste resources as you're going through the game. For this last part, you do need 2 tritium ingots and 2 silicone ingots to make the chip, which then you need 2 of those chips in order to make the motherboard, and you need plastic sheets to do that as well. So there is a little bit more crafting to be done. And then the graphite ingots and the graphite sheets, I assume, are going to be needed in another phase, but right now we need this. This is going to be our next little thing we need to do. Get those computer chips, which allow you to craft the motherboard, and then unlock the duranium cores and all the other cores and then continue on with the rest of the game. But those cores are going to be easy once I get enough cognitive fluid type D going. So I think what we'll do for the last episode is I'm going to go down into the depths. I will record myself finding these things, show them to you, and then I'm going to have to go and farm up. Now the next episode won't be released until probably next Monday or Tuesday because I am out of town. Today is a Wednesday and you're hearing this on a Friday, I'm sorry, but I'm out of town. So once I come back, I'll record the last episode and get it up. See you on the next one, guys.